I'm audible and visible enough.
Audible, audible, audible.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much,
Uh,
Ashish,
Thank
for
you so
being
much.
here.
Thank you so much. At the outset, let me express my heartfelt thanks to this wonderful department. When we used to be the students and scholars, we used to call this department as Makkah and Medina of education. So thank you so much. I am truly delighted to be at this prestigious institution, prestigious university of not only of India but of globe. Uh, Let me extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Ashutosh Bishwalji, Professor Sujata Srivastava Madam, Priti Saxena ji, Pooja Srivastava ji, for this opportunity to interact. And if I'm not wrong, this national education policy has now it has completed 3 years, and this is the first time. This is first time I am interacting in a true multidisciplinary setup where sciences are there, social sciences are there, humanities are there, as told by Professor Ashutosh Bishwal sir, that entire fraternity is there. So, in that sense, you are true executor of national education policy, breaking the boundaries of rigid disciplines and bringing all the scholars, young faculty members at this forum. So, thank you so much once again for giving me this opportunity. Uh, Let me congratulate this department, this university, which has conceived this coursework on fundamental of research for all the across the disciplines. Before I proceed further, let me remind you, and this again kind of appreciation for this department. Uh, University Education Commission report. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan has written in that report, and we all know that the duration of that report is 1948-49. So 1948-49, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji is writing in his report that people in this country have been slow to recognize that education is a profession for which intensive preparation is necessary as it is in any other profession. What he mean to say is that in order to be a teacher, we need intensive preparation. We are slow to understand this. We are slow to execute this. इंजीनियर बनने के लिए हमको समझ में आ गया, डॉक्टर बनने के लिए इंटेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चाहिए, समझ में आ गया, मैनेजर बनने के लिए इंटेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चाहिए, समझ में आ गया, लेकिन टीचर बनने के लिए इंटेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चाहिए, किसी भी स्तर का टीचर, किसी भी स्टेज का टीचर, किसी भी क्लास का टीचर बनने के लिए. ये बात आशीष श्रीवास्तव नहीं कह रहे हैं, डॉक्टर सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन जी ने अपनी रिपोर्ट में 1948-49 में लिखी. उसका एंड देन दिस वाज रिपीटेड बाय नेशनल करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क फॉर टीचर एजुकेशन इन 2009. If you open that document, the very first paragraph, very first line are same lines. People in this country have been slow to recognize that education is a profession for which intensive preparation is necessary as it is in any other profession. Now, if you look at National Education Policy 2020, National Education Policy 2020 has responded to these concerns in 15.9. And I am very proudly saying that case this Maharaja Sayajirao University, Baroda, is a true implementer of 15.9 also. 15.9, where 15.9 says what 59, if you have policy document, you can open and you can see what 15.9 says. It says that irrespective of the disciplines, all the scholars, all the researchers, all the new entrants to PhD program will be exposed to curriculum, to pedagogy, to assessment, to teaching, and they are bound to take certain credit courses on these things, so that when they will be appearing in their classes, they can understand the nitty and gritty of the entire teaching learning profession. So this is what 15.9 has said. So in this respect, again, I congratulate this department which has conceived this coursework for all these scholars across the disciplines. Now, coming to my business, where Professor Ashutosh Bishwalji has assigned me to deliberate, to discuss on identification of a research problem. Identification of a research problem, and I can see both the hard task master in my at my screen, Professor Sujata Srivastava Madam and Professor Ashutosh Bishwalji, both are hard task master, and therefore I will be sticking to my to my assigned task, identification of a research problem. Now, why this problem to speak? Why we are discussing on this issue, identification of a research problem? I don't want to ask any question from anybody today at this forum, because we all understand that this interaction through this online mode using Zoom platform or Google Meet or any platform, if we allow the discussion discourse, it creates chaos. Therefore, I will be asking question, I will be responding to those questions, considering that you have responded. So my first question to you all is, how many of you have read National Education Policy 2020 document? If you have read, you deserve all appreciation. If you have not read, nothing is lost as of now. Take advantage of this coursework, read that document. Why I am asking to read that document? Because this document is having full of ideas, avenues, scopes, where you can go, where you can identify your problem. Now, other than national education policy, there are plenty of things which I will be discussing with you. Now, coming to again identification of a research problem and why this theme to speak. My dear scholars, what I will be sharing today with you, because you are in a very outstanding, great University of India. So I don't want to today. I don't want to present some bookish content in front of you. Rather, I would like to share my own reflections, because you are there. You are having a rich library. You are having plenty of books, so you can reach how to identify a problem. Here I am. What I have thought to share with you, my insights, my understanding on this issue, identification of a research problem. And this experience, these insights I have gained from supervising the dissertations, from evaluating the dissertations, from conducting the Vavavosi examinations, from supervising PhD doctoral level theses, evaluating those theses, conducting Vavavosi examination for those theses, supervising postdoctoral fellow, evaluating projects submitted to different funding agencies like UGC, like ICSSR, etc., and interviews at selection committee. So I have gained my own experience, own insight from all these activities, experiences, and what I have observed, I will be sharing those observations with you, so that when you go to the library, literature, book, you can understand and you can identify your problem in a appropriate or in a all accepted manner. So from those experiences, guiding researches, evaluating researches, viva voce, interviews, project evaluation, what I have observed is conceptual errors. Conceptual errors, even at different levels, at different strata. Conceptual errors. What I mean to say, conceptual error means lack of conceptual clarity. Lack of conceptual clarity. So when I'm saying lack of conceptual clarity, um, uh, in social sciences, in humanities, in education, we refer to theoretical base. One we say, when we call it positivistic paradigm, and another is post positivistic paradigm. So many a time we found that the researcher is not understanding the very core ideas of positivistic paradigm and post positivistic paradigm. So I will be placing my request to all of you, those who are from these backgrounds. Just make a point that you precisely you understand that what is this positivistic paradigm of research, what is this post positivistic paradigm of research. So this is one what I have observed. This is one what I wanted to share with you. Now the second issue, the second experience what I have gathered from this experience is narrow and orthodox reading. Narrow and orthodox reading. Research is a tedious task, we all know. So narrow and orthodox reading. What I meant to say from narrow and orthodox reading is, uh, for last 2 3 years, I am continuously discussing with the teachers who are attending the programs at different human resource development centers. And there I have, what I have gathered is that very less number of faculty scholars read the commission's report, the committee's report, the policy report. For example, let me tell you very clearly and categorically that just after independence, the government of India formulated a commission, University Education Commission, chaired by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. This is a very good commission, very good report, very good insights, plenty of problems in that report. Then 1950 to 53, Government of India set up that committee, Secondary Education Commission, chaired by Mudaliar Sahab, again having plenty of issues, different issues across the discipline, whether it is science, social science, art, humanities, plenty of problems. Then 1964-66, again a major commission was set up, Indian Education Commission, chaired by a great scientist, Professor Daulat Singh Kothari Sahab. Again, this report is having plenty of issues, plenty of concerns, plenty of scope, plenty of ideas. Then 1968, the first national policy on education, followed by program of action. Then 1979, draft national education policy. Then 1986, again national policy on education along with program of action. 1992, again national policy on education. And then followed, and then there are these, what I'm sharing with you right now is the major landmarks, the major reports, major commissions, major issues. Otherwise, you can have Professor Yashpal, Professor C.N.R. Rao, the great, you all know, Professor C.N.R. Rao, Bharat Ratna Awardee, great scientist so far as the field of chemistry is concerned. Professor Yashwant, Palle Rama Rao. There are plenty of scientists, plenty of social scientists, plenty of philosophers. So there are different commissions report, committees report, National Knowledge Commission report, Learning Without Burden report, National Curriculum Framework 2005, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009. So when you will be looking at the things, you will be finding that there are innumerable number of documents. So, and when you will be reading any document, you will be finding that there are plenty of problems which you can catch as a researcher, so far as your own researches are concerned. So this is the second observation, narrow and orthodox reading. So if you want to be a good researcher, if you want to contribute to research, you need to increase your reading horizon. Then again, third observation, what I have gathered, third understanding, what I have gathered is misreading. What I mean to say misreading is, that is not reading authentic material, My dear scholars, if you I am in your chat box, I am writing this name of institution. You can or you can discuss with your professors. This NIPA, this is an institution deemed University of Delhi. Professor C.N.R. Rao Sahab has delivered one lecture in NIPA, and NIPA has documented that lecture and uploaded at the website. So when you will be reading that lecture of Professor C.N.R. Rao, you will be in a better position to understand what we are missing. So far as India as a country is concerned, we all know that research is in pathetic state. Kailash ji, can you mute yourself, please? Kailash Narsingh Chauhan. Thank you, dear. So that CNRO lectures will give you insights that how many papers are there in good journals from India, from China. what Professor Siana Rao has faced in his lifetime, so far as experiments of chemistry is concerned, so far as converting those experiments into format of publication is concerned. So misreading was my third observation. Misreading, that is not reading authentic material. So you need to identify the material which is of worth, and in that respect your teachers, your supervisors, your professors will help you out that what not to read and what to read. Then my next observation, next understanding, missing the understanding on assumptions of different concepts in research. Missing the understanding on assumptions of different concepts of research. My dear scholars, my dear students, if you are having pen and paper in your hand, uh, you can note it down in your own way, and when you will be facing interviews, different selection committees, different researches, in your time to come, you will be realizing the importance of this statement: missing the understanding on assumptions of different concepts of research. And when I'm saying assumptions of different concepts of research, when to use experimental research, what is the basic assumptions of experimental research, what is the basic assumption of ex post facto research, what is the basic assumption of this research. There are plenty of paradigms, whether it is post positivistic paradigm or it is post positivistic paradigm. चाहे वो पॉजिटिविस्ट पैराडाइम हो, चाहे वो पोस्ट पॉजिटिविस्ट पैराडाइम हो, जो डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस हैं, चाहे वो सर्वे हो, चाहे वो एक्सपेरिमेंटल हो, चाहे वो डिस्कवरी हो, चाहे वो एथनोमेथोडोलॉजी हो, चाहे वो एथनोग्राफी हो, चाहे वो फेनोमेनोलॉजी हो, चाहे वो काउजल कंपैरेटिव हो, whatever methodology we are using, we are studying, we need to understand the assumptions, why and how of each thing. Then only you will be in a better position uh, to 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 bring a good piece of work which can truly contribute to the knowledge society. Then another problem what I have gathered, understood, that more of an inner voice than supporting with logic rationally. More of an inner voice than supporting rationally with logic. कई बार हमको अपने अंतरात्मा से आवाज आती है और हम कोई भी टॉपिक जो है वो कोई भी समस्या लेके पहुंच जाते हैं, उसकी रैशनैलिटी उसको substantiate नहीं करते whether that problem is researchable or not. So when you are in a process of identification of a problem, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are conceiving, support rationally with logic. Then biasness for result, lack of research temperament, these are the issues. Why these issues? Why these issues? Why these issues? Now coming to the precise concern on this identification of a research problem. From where you can get your research, your problem, from where you can get your problem. So it may be any book. From any book you are reading some book and you all of a sudden a flash came into your mind that this may be the problem. If your supervisor, your professor supports, you can convert that issue into a problem research title. And so book may be one option. Journals may be another option. From there you can identify your problem. Newspapers, which is readily available every day in our hands, are another option from where you can have your research problem. Then policy reports, as I mentioned, whether it is national education policy, national knowledge commission, national curriculum framework. Nowadays, if you look at national education policy 2020, followed by different documents, different curriculum frameworks, different guidelines, different supporting documents. So policy reports may be a very good place from where you can identify your problem. And whether it is science, whether you are from science background, from social science background, from humanities, or any other subject, irrespective of subject. So policy reports are uh, a potential place where you can identify a problem. Similarly, commissions report, committees report, magazines, and previous researches, what your ancestors have done in the past. Those researches can give you insight so that you can identify your problem. Now, one more thing I would like to share with you here. Uh, Nowadays, through this inflibnet, we are in a better position to access the journals, periodicals, books at a single click, at your personal laptop, at your convenience. But my experience says, I'm recalling this experience from the days of my Shanti Niketan experience when I was in Shanti Niketan. सो एक दिन मैं शांति निकेतन में बैठा था और हमारे जो सेंट्रल लाइब्रेरियन थे उन्होंने मुझे फोन किया और एंड ही वाज फीलिंग लिटिल लो, उनको थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा क्या हुआ भाई, आप ऐसे क्यों परेशान हैं? तो उन्होंने कहा कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स रिलीज हुई है आज, और ये इस बात की स्टैटिस्टिक्स है कि किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय के बच्चे, स्कॉलर्स, स्टूडेंट्स, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल इस फैसिलिटी को कितनी बार क्लिक करते हैं, कितनी बार हिट करते हैं. और ये पुरानी बात बता रहा हूं मैं आपको, लगभग 10 साल पहले की बात बता रहा हूं. तो उनकी चिंता ये थी कि वो जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स रिलीज हुई थी उसमें शांति निकेतन बहुत नीचे था, और वो फैसिलिटी जिसको जेएनयू के स्टूडेंट्स ने, जेएनयू के स्कॉलर्स ने लगभग 30-35 हजार बार हिट किया था, वो शांति निकेतन में 1,000 भी नहीं पहुंचा था. ये उस समय की बात है. तो दैट डिस्कशन मेड मी अवेयर दैट देयर आर सर्टेन फैसिलिटी. तो फिर मेरा उनके साथ अच्छी दोस्ती थी, मैं उनके साथ बैठा कि चलो क्या कारण है, स्टूडेंट तो वहां भी है, स्टूडेंट यहाँ भी है, स्कॉलर वहां भी है, स्कॉलर यहाँ भी है, तो कारण क्या है, ये ऐसा इतना बड़ा वेरिएशन क्यों है कि जेएनयू का स्टूडेंट इतनी बार हिट कर रहा है इन फैसिलिटीज को और हमारा स्कॉलर हिट नहीं कर रहा है. तो इसका एक बड़ा कारण हमको समझ में आया, और वो कारण ये था लैक ऑफ एक्सपोजर, लैक ऑफ ओरिएंटेशन, जिसमें स्कॉलर की भी गलती नहीं थी, फैकल्टी की भी गलती नहीं थी, सिर्फ एक थॉट आइडिया को कंसीव करने की गलती थी. तो हमने डिस्कशन किया और ये रास्ता निकाला कि अब जो सेंट्रल लाइब्रेरी है वहां की, उसके जो लोग हैं, ऑफिशियल्स हैं, दे विल बी मेकिंग अ प्रेजेंटेशन, काइंड ऑफ ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम, काइंड ऑफ एक्सपोजर प्रोग्राम to all the faculty members, to all the scholars, to all the students, that what facilities are available at the university, what facility you can avail at your mobile, what facility you can avail you at your laptop, what facility you can avail using remote access. Since it is an online course, except my everybody's video is off, so I don't know how many of you have enrolled yourself in National Digital Library. How many of you are member of now National? Yes, very good. Vandan Ranpur Wala is member of National Digital Library. So now Neha Patel is also member. Priyanka, no, plenty of participants are there who are member of. So if you have joined National Digital Library, very good. If you have not joined, today only you enroll yourself. Number one. Number two, if you are aware of the facilities provided by your university through this InflibNet or JStore, or many facilities are there. If you are aware, you deserve appreciation. If you are not aware, you can tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever you get time, you go to the library, you meet with the librarian sahab, you tell them that you are not aware of those facilities, kindly arrange a orientation session for you, or what Professor Ashutosh Bishwal can invite person from library department to make you aware that what are the facilities available precisely for a scholar, which facilities you can access. So, my dear friends, why these issues? Lack of reading. So when you are accessing to National Digital Library, InflibNet, JStore, etc., you will be accessing thousands, lakhs of resources in the form of books, in the form of journals, in the form of newspapers, policy reports, magazines, previous researches, articles, etc., etc. Now, why these issues? Why these issues? Because lack of updation, emerging issues in the area, lack of updation. हमारा लैक, हम अपडेट नहीं करते अपने आप को, एंड चूंकि हम अपडेट नहीं करते इसलिए हमें कई बार समस्याओं का बड़ा अभाव सा नजर आता है. एंड थर्ड इज लैक ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टिव डिस्कोर्सेज, lack of reflective discourses. And when I'm saying lack of reflective discourses, what I mean to say is, आप सब स्कॉलर हैं, यंग हैं और एनर्जेटिक हैं, वाइब्रेंट हैं. आप शाम को चाय पीने के लिए गए या आप सुबह लंच, कभी आप जब थक गए, टायर्ड हो गए, तो आप गए कहीं पर कैंटीन में बैठे हैं, वहां पर अपना समय इधर उधर जाया करने की बजाय लैक, तो मैंने क्या कहा, लैक ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टिव डिस्कोर्सेज. टेक ए इशू, डिस्कस. कल ही मैंने अपने यहाँ एक अच्छे प्रोफेसर को बुलाया था, वो एक बात कह रहे थे कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति सड़क पर झाड़ू लगा रहा हो तो, और वो पढ़ा लिखा हो, अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो पढ़ा लिखा हो, तो आपको ये समझना चाहिए ये जो झाड़ू लगा रहा है ये फिजिसिस्ट होगा या ये केमिस्ट होगा या ये मैथमेटिशियन होगा. ये कहने का जो मतलब था बड़ा वाइल्ड स्टेटमेंट है. ये कहने का मतलब ये है, आप जिस विषय के भी शोधार्थी हैं, जिस विषय को आप पढ़ रहे हैं. Okay, very good. Vaimani Shah, very good. Yes, you communicate to anybody. I think your coordinator of this program is more than sufficient to arrange this kind of orientation program. So, lack of reflective discourses. अभी आप देखोगे पिछले कई वर्षों में मैं इसको महसूस कर रहा हूं, और आई फील माई सेल्फ मोर कनेक्टेड टू विद द स्टूडेंट्स, कि हम अब कैंटीन्स में या टी स्टॉल्स पर रिफ्लेक्टिव डिस्कोर्स ना करके पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ के डिस्कोर्स में इन्वॉल्व हैं. So considering yourself as a researcher, a scholar, increase reflective discourses on any issue related with the research, related with the policy, related with the reports, related with the publication, etc., etc. My dear friends, my dear scholars, again I am bringing back to the point from national 12.6 from National Education Policy 2020 document 12.6. अच्छा, मैं आपको ये जो बीच बीच में, क्योंकि समय बहुत कम है, केवल अब मेरे पास हार्डली 40-45 मिनट बचे हैं, इसके बाद आपसे बातचीत भी करनी है, सवाल जवाब भी करने हैं, इसलिए मैं पॉलिसी पढ़ करके आपका और अपना समय नहीं खराब करूंगा. मैं आपको नंबर्स बोल दे रहा हूं, आप बाद में उन नंबर्स को रेफर कर लीजिएगा. पॉलिसी का डॉक्यूमेंट आप सबके पास एक्सेस है. सो नाउ आई एम रेफरिंग 12.6, एंड व्हेन आई एम रेफरिंग 12.6 National Education Policy says that finally all programs, all courses, all curricula, all pedagogy across subjects, my dear scholars, listen me very carefully, across subjects, including those in class, online, offline, ODL mode, etc., etc., will aim to achieve global standards of quality. This is what Ashish Shrivastava is not saying. This is what has been written in National Education Policy Document 2020 12.6. और जब मैंने इसको पढ़ा तो फिर डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज में जहां जहां पर मेरा इंटरेक्शन हो सकता है या होता है और लोग करिकुलम बना रहे हैं, मैंने उन डिपार्टमेंट्स के स्कॉलर से, फैकल्टी मेंबर से बातचीत करना शुरू किया, और मुझे एक बात समझ में आई कि हमारा स्कॉलर और हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा फैकल्टी नंबर नैक के 7 क्राइटेरियाज नहीं जानता है, एनआईआरएफ के 5 पैरामीटर्स नहीं जानता है. और जब नैक और एनआरएफ नहीं जानता तो मैं ये कैसे मान लूं कि उसको टाइम्स रैंकिंग के पैरामीटर और फ्रेमवर्क मालूम होंगे? मैं कैसे मान लूं उसको क्यूएस रैंकिंग के फ्रेमवर्क मालूम होंगे? मैं कैसे मान लूं कि उसको एआरडीओडब्ल्यू का जो फ्रेमवर्क है मालूम होगा, वेबोमेट्रिक्स मालूम होगा? आप सब स्कॉलर्स हैं, यंग हैं, आप सब का ये काम है कि आप वो एक्सपेक्टेशंस जरूर पता करें, so that you can ensure whether in your own research you are in a position to address those parameters or not. If you are in a position to address those issues, those concerns, those parameters, those indicators in your research, then only you can plan your moves accordingly. So, एक छोटी सी कहानी आपको सुनाता हूँ, फिर मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ. जल्दी से एक छोटी सी कहानी सुनाता हूँ. वैसे भी शाम का समय है, आप लोग थोड़ा सा थक रहे होंगे, तो कहानी आपको सुनाता हूँ. और ये बड़ी पॉपुलर कहानी, मैं अक्सर जहां मुझे स्कॉलर मिलते हैं जरूर ये कहानी उनको सुना देता हूँ. एक व्यापारी है, वो ऊंट का व्यापार करता है और बहुत सारे ऊंटों को लेके जा रहा है. ऊंट समझते होंगे ना, केमल. तो बहुत सारे ऊंट को लेके वो जा रहा है व्यापार करने के लिए। चलते 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 शाम हो जाती है, तो व्यापारी को लगता है कि अब शाम हो गई, रात में ट्रेवल करना ठीक नहीं, चलो रुक जाते हैं। तो फिर वो एक धर्मशाला देख उसको एक धर्मशाला दिखाई पड़ती है, उस धर्मशाले में जाता है और धर्मशाले के मैनेजर को कहता है कि भैया मुझे रात भर रुकना है, लेकिन मेरे पास बहुत सारे ऊंट हैं। तो धर्मशाले का जो मैनेजर है वो कहता है कोई बात नहीं, मैं सबकी व्यवस्था कर देता हूँ। तो जो धर्मशाले का मैनेजर है वो बहुत सारे खूंटे और बहुत सारी रस्सियां लेके आता है। खूंटा जिसको हम जमीन में गाड़ते हैं और रस्सी बांधते हैं उसमें। तो बहुत सारे खूंटे और रस्सियां लेके आता है। अब प्रोसेस क्या है, ध्यान से सुनिएगा। वो एक खूंटा लेता है, जमीन में गाड़ता है उस खूंटे को, उस खूंटे में रस्सी बांधता है, उस रस्सी को ऊंट के गले में बांधता है और ऊंट को बिठा देता है। दूसरे ऊंट के पास जाता है, वही प्रोसेस, खूंटा जमीन में गाड़ता है, उसमें रस्सी बांधता है, रस्सी को ऊंट के गले में बांधता है, ऊंट को बिठा देता है। करते 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 वो लास्ट के ऊंट तक पहुंचता है। लास्ट के ऊंट पर जब वो पहुंचता है तो उसकी रस्सी खत्म हो जाती है और उसका खूंटा भी खत्म हो जाता है। और व्यापारी कहता है यार ये तो बड़ी मुश्किल हो गई, अब तो ये तो सुरक्षित नहीं है मेरा ऊंट। तो अब मुझे ध्यान से सुनिएगा। धर्मशाले का मैनेजर कहता है चिंता मत करो, मैं इसको बांध देता हूं। फिर धर्मशाला का जो मैनेजर है वो खूंटा लेता है जो उसके हाथ में है ही नहीं, और वो खूंटा जो उसके हाथ में है ही नहीं उसको वो जमीन में गाड़ देता है। और फिर वो रस्सी लेता है जो उसके हाथ में है ही नहीं, वो रस्सी जो थी ही नहीं उसको उस खूंटे में बांध देता है, और उस रस्सी को ऊंट के गले में बांध देता है जो थी ही नहीं। और फिर ऊंट को बिठा देता है और चला जाता है। और व्यापारी से कहता है आप मेरी जिम्मेदारी है, मेरी गारंटी है, आप जाइए, आप जाके अठाठ से सोइए, सुबह आप अपने ऊँटों को ले जाइएगा। कोई बात नहीं, व्यापारी जाता है, सोता है, सुबह उठता है, नाश्ता वाश्ता करता है, आता है, सारे ऊंट को खोलता है। अब खोलने का वही प्रोसेस है, पहले वो रस्सी खोलेगा, खूंटा उखाड़ेगा, खूंटे की रस्सी खोलेगा, ऊंट को खड़ा करेगा। करते 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 जब आखिरी वाले ऊंट तक पहुंचा, तो आखिरी वाला ऊंट तो ऐसे ही बैठा हुआ है, उसको वो उठाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो वो नहीं उठता है। तो फिर वो परेशान होकर धर्मशाले के मैनेजर के पास जाता है, कहता है कि भैया वो तो नहीं उठ रहा है। तो वो कहता है आपने उसका खूंटा उखाड़ा, रस्सी खोली? तो कहता है क्या मजाक करते हो? तो फिर वो आता है धर्मशाले का मैनेजर, और वो खूंटा उखाड़ता है जो था ही नहीं, वो रस्सी खोलता है जो थी ही नहीं, और ऊँट को खड़ा करता है, ऊँट खड़ा हो जाता है। ये कहानी मैंने इसलिए सुनाई आपको, दिस इज द हाई टाइम, हम सबको उन खूंटों को और उन रस्सियों को पहचानना है जो असल में है ही नहीं, हम बंधे हुए हैं उनसे, और हमको देन वी नीड टू मूव टू द ग्लोबल एक्सपेक्टेशंस। In 2015, when this QS ranking, Times ranking was released, at that time I was in Shantiniketan, and one fine day I received a newspaper. The very front page of Telegraph described the Indian status on research through one heading, and that heading was fabulous. Heading was इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम को डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है। वो हेडिंग क्या है? टाइगर इन ग्रेजुएट, रैट इन रिसर्च। दिस इज इंडियन हायर एजुकेशन। टाइगर इन ग्रेजुएट, रैट इन रिसर्च। सो दिस इज हाई टाइम जब हमको रैट से निकल करके और टाइगर बनना है इन द फील्ड ऑफ रिसर्च इज ऑल्सो। So I would like to add here in last 10 years, as I said that from my own experience, I have gathered that plenty of scholars are conceiving the very rhetorical, conventional, stereotype type problems, while many pertinent issues, whether it is TVET, whether it is STEAM education, whether we are responding, now we are working on education 4.0, green ICT, economics of education, financing, curriculum, pedagogy, technology, different innovations in sciences, next generation science standard framework of America, assessment, inclusive education, governance. So there are plenty of issues available. In spite of all these availability, if you look at the theses deposited in different universities, you will be finding that एक कोई घिसा पिटा इशू ले लिया है और उसी पर हमारे बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स काम करते जा रहे। So from where you will be identifying those new ideas? Again, I am repeating, your policy reports, commissions report, journals, latest updates. If you look at National Education Policy 2020, it is truly worried. And if you look at policy, it says that catalyzing quality academic research in all fields. और इसके लिए वो एक नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन जिसका bill has been passed, and now we'll be witnessing very soon the outcome of this National Research Foundation bill, but catalyzing quality academic research. And when the policy document is saying this, again, policy document is saying that despite the importance of research, the research and innovation investment in India is very low, is very less. Now, National Education Policy has reported that as a nation, India as a nation is contributing to investing only 0.69% of GDP as compared to 2.8% of United States, 4.3% in Israel, and 4.2% in South Korea. So now different bodies are realizing that we need to invest so far as education is, so far as researches are concerned. Again, I'm reminding you and I'm requesting you to read that lecture delivered by Professor C.N.R. Rao, which has been documented by NIPA, uploaded at NIPA website, and that will let you know the difficulties, the scope, the challenges so far as the world of chemistry is concerned. So that will give you different the wonderful insights. See, when Professor Ashutosh Vishwal sir asked me to speak on identification of a research problem, then I was contemplating my points again and again, this came in mind that this is the topic which I have been given is something where everybody is worried about, everybody is concerned about. And when everybody is worried, everybody is concerned, it is very difficult for me to be original in a topic of this kind. Because when I was formulating, I was aware that roughly we know what we have to say, but identification of a problem is a issue which we all are thinking, but we are not addressing, we are not reflecting in a root cause. So what I decided that we know what I know what I'm going to say, I know how I am going to say, but what I have decided for me that important things, it is important that important things are repeated. It is very important that important things are repeated. And when I'm saying this, we all know, we all come from Indian tradition where repetition is one of the same thing makes us purer. चाहे वो संस्कृत का श्लोक हो, हम रोज सुबह शाम उसको रिसाइट करते हैं और परफेक्शन पर जाते हैं. इसलिए when identification of a research problem issue is there, I planned that whether it is repetition, I don't mind. I will be repeating whatever it is. I am taking a detour here for a while. If Professor Vishwal Saab is allowing me, for 10 minutes, I am taking a detour and recalling the year 2016, 2017, 2016, 2017, 2016, 2017. I am recalling. Why I am recalling this? Why I am recalling this? Because this was the year their finance minister of the then finance minister of India made an announcement. And that announcement created a lot of discussion across the academia. Across the academia. What was this? What was that announcement? What was that announcement? He announced that central government is set to establish 20 world-class universities, 10 in public sector and 10 in private sector. And this announcement created a lot of discussion, and subsequently there was some confusion also, which was there for the nomenclature as well as the structural, organizational, functional features for these yet to be born universities. Anyways, my point here is why all of a sudden this announcement finance minister had to make. One of the major reasons for this announcement by the then finance minister was the fact, my dear scholars, listen me carefully, was the fact that evaluated by global benchmarks of quality, none of the Indian higher education institutions appeared in the list of top 100 in the world. Number one. Second, our counterparts from from BRICS and from Asian countries, Brazil, Russia, China, South Africa, and different Asian countries earned better position in the same international list. If you can recall, as I quoted, 2000 QS World Ranking of 15 out of 200 institutions, only 2 institutions, IIT Delhi and IISc Bangalore, could make their place. Again, Times ranking, none institution from Asian countries was there in top 10, while China was having 5. India, first institution from India was at 16. Why I'm telling these things? Because this was the time when you can recall several expressions of anguish, by notable person like Pranab Mukherjee ji, APJ Abdul Kalam Sahab, and many more. And this was the time when Niti Aayog comes into the picture, having this opinion to grant total autonomy to the institutions of proven quality and credibility. Anyways, so when this announcement was made, why I am telling this to you, when this announcement was made, the intellectuals, the academicians started studying the world-class universities, MIT, Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, etc., etc. Then there it was found that to be world class, and as per the format of global ranking agencies, any university should have international profile, and that international profile should be in terms of teaching programs, in terms of research projects, in terms of publications, in terms of conferences, in terms of exchanges, in terms of collaborations, besides having multiracial, multi-religious, multicultural, multidisciplinary academic milieu. And when you will be analyzing, you will be finding that plenty of parameters belong to the research projects, the publication, the conferences. There you can contribute. See, my dear scholars, we need to understand very clearly and categorically, that institutions of excellence are not created by any government anywhere in the world. Institutions of excellence are not created by any government anywhere in the world. When I'm saying this, let me complete my statement. Institutions of excellence are not created by any government anywhere in the world. Rather, what happens? Fully autonomous higher education institutions, with or without state funding, evolve in course of time as world class. Evolution, ये create नहीं किया जाता, ये evolution होता है, और इस evolution में researches are going to play a very crucial role. आप world class universities, जो so called world class universities हैं, if you study the character of world class universities, you will be finding that they are known for their original research, both in the basic as well as in advanced researches. Somebody got unmuted, it is creating disturbance. So world-class universities are known for original research, both basic and advanced researches. Now, एक हमारे एक बड़ा स्टैंडर्ड जोक है, और स्टैंडर्ड जोक ऐसा है कि वो कहते हैं कि the quality of researches, especially when I am referring to PhD, the quality has been so much diluted that people started saying that the PhD degrees are awarded not to the students but to the supervisor. Not to the student but to the supervisor. तो जिस तरह से मॉडस ऑपरेंडी चेंज हो रही है, ये हमें we need to reflect. Now, when you are identifying your research problem, you need to keep in mind three concerns. Number one, systemic concern. And when I'm saying systemic concern, I'm referring here the concern related with the governance, the concern related with the resources. Systemic concern, number one. Number two, the individual concerns. And when I'm saying individual concerns, I am trying to say the concerns related with the competence, related with the your understanding. Rather, I should say the conceptual clarity on the different components of research, analysis, etc. And third is linguistic concern. Linguistic concern. So when you are identifying your problem, apart from referring to the books, journals, previous researches, policy reports, etc., number one. Number two, you need to keep related with systemic concern, individual concern, linguistic concern. And number three, if you are intended to take a quantitative kind of work, you need to understand the theoretical base of positivistic paradigm. And if you are intending to take up a work based on qualitative work, you need to understand the post positivistic paradigm of research. So positivistic paradigm of research, post positivistic paradigm of research. CNR राव साहब का लेक्चर मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी रेफर कर दिया है. There is one more lecture again at the same website at NIPA, Killing of Higher Education by Professor V.R. Mehta. Killing of Higher Education by Professor V.R. Mehta. Where you see, I'm telling you one very interesting issue. Few months before, there was a committee where some scholar appeared who has written a dedicated chapter, variables in research. Variables in research. This was the chapter published in some book. So when I saw that chapter, so I was little surprised that why this chapter, I don't understand. So I asked a question. With whom I am asking this question? The scholar who has written this dedicated chapter, variables in research. So I asked a very simple question. What is variable? What is variable? You will not believe. I did not get the answer from a person who wrote a dedicated chapter. And then I interacted with several scholars who has already completed their research work based on positivistic paradigm, that tell me what is variable, tell me the types of variable, tell me the forms of variable. You will be surprised. And don't believe me, you just take this exercise. You just meet with 25 scholars, make it number 25 scholars, ask them what was your research topic, what was your variable, what was the types and forms of variables you have used. You will be finding that many of us are not understanding these basic things, that what is a variable, what are the types of variable, what are the forms of variable. And when as a researcher we are not understanding the types, forms of variables, we are in a difficult position so far as using the scale of measurement is concerned, and different using different statistics, different assumptions, if we are focusing on positivistic paradigm. Therefore, my dear scholars, for identification, see, if I asked you a question, what is research? What is research? Suppose I'm asking this question, what is research? So you will be responding to with different definitions, different understanding of researches. I often say that research refers to a process wherein systematic activities are done to find the solution of a problem or extension of knowledge. Research refers to a process wherein systematic activities are done to find the solution of a problem or extension of knowledge. Again, I am repeating this definition. Research refers to a process. When I'm saying process, I am underlining this. Research refers to a process wherein systematic activities are done. कैसा process है ये? where systematic activities are done. For what? To find the solution of a problem or extension of knowledge. तो रिसर्च क्या है? एक प्रोसेस है. कैसा प्रोसेस है? जिसमें हम सिस्टमैटिक एक्टिविटीज करते हैं. सिस्टमैटिक एक्टिविटीज क्यों करते हैं? या तो किसी समस्या के समाधान के लिए या एक्सटेंशन ऑफ नॉलेज, ज्ञान के विस्तार के लिए. Whenever we are doing research, our the very moral responsibility is to contribute to knowledge society. If our piece of research is contributing to knowledge society, then it is having some worth. Today morning itself, I was conducting one viva at NIPA, and told the same thing, that you need to, whenever you are submitting, you are defending your work, you must be in a position to say that this piece of work is contributing to knowledge society. So again, I'm coming back to my definition of research. Research refers to a process wherein systematic activities are done to find the solution of a problem or extension of knowledge. And here there is a term, systematic activities. What do we mean by systematic activities? There are, if you will be reading conventional book, you will be finding 5 steps. If you will be reading new books, there will be 6 steps. तो जो 5 है वही 6 है. घबराने की कोई बात नहीं, दोनों किताबें एक ही बात करें. बस जब हम थोड़ा अपडेट करते हैं अपने आप को, पढ़ते पढ़ते पढ़ते, तो हमारा जरा ज्ञान का विस्तार ज्यादा हो जाता है. So systematic activity, research refers to a process wherein systematic activities. Now, what are those systematic activities? 5 steps. Identification of a problem is step 1. Identification of a problem is step 1. A statement of hypothesis or formulating research question is step 2. Data collection is step 3. Data analysis step 4. Report writing step 5. अब ये देखने में कितने आसान से लग रहे हैं. क्या कह रहा है? आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ ए प्रॉब्लम स्टेप 1 है. स्टेटमेंट ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस कह दिया. फॉर्मुलेटिंग रिसर्च क्वेश्चन कह दिया, स्टेप 2 है. डेटा कलेक्शन स्टेप 3 है. डेटा एनालिसिस स्टेप 4 है. एंड रिपोर्ट राइटिंग स्टेप 5 है. देखने में जो ये 5 बड़े आसान से स्टेप लग रहे हैं, असल में यही पूरी वो दुनिया है जिस दुनिया में अगले कुछ वर्षों तक आप रहने वाले हैं. Identification of a problem you cannot do until and unless you are aware of the concept of variables. If you are focusing on positivistic paradigm, you are not in a position to identify your problem until and unless you understand the holistic situation, if you are focusing on a post-positivistic paradigm of research. So when positivistic paradigm you are focusing, you need to understand what is variable, types of variable, forms of variable, etc., because whenever we conduct researches based on positivistic paradigm, we define our research in terms of variables. But when we focus on post-positivistic paradigm, we identify our problem based on holistic situation, identification of a problem. Then statement of hypothesis, formulating. नहीं, come to third step, very interesting, data collection. तो लगता है अरे डेटा कलेक्शन ही तो बहुत छोटा सा स्टेप है, बहुत ही स्मॉल सा स्टेप है डेटा कलेक्शन. बट यू कैन नॉट कलेक्ट योर डेटा until and unless you understand population and sample, until and unless you know about the research tools, whether it is test or scale or inventory or questionnaire or observation or interview or focus group discussion, whatever it is. You cannot collect your data until and unless you understand different paradigms of researches, whether it is experimental research or ex post facto research, causal comparative research, phenomenological research, ethnomethodological research, or any paradigm of researches. So देखने में जो ये 5 आसान से स्टेप्स लग रहे हैं, ये असल में 5 आसान स्टेप ना होकर के ये पूरी दुनिया है रिसर्च की, जिसमें हमको रहना है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम अंडरस्टैंडिंग अ वेरिएबल एंड अ होलिस्टिक सिचुएशन. एक चुटकुला है जो स्कॉलर्स को मैं अक्सर सुनाता हूँ हर प्रोग्राम में जहां मुझे नए स्कॉलर मिलते हैं, ये चुटकुला जरूर सुनाता हूँ. ये चुटकुला वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में बहुत पॉपुलर है. ये चुटकुला वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में चुटकुला ऐसा है कि देयर इज अ स्टूडेंट हु इज इन ग्रेजुएशन. सो what a graduate student conceives about research. What a graduate student conceives. So when he's in mind my words, when he's in graduation, the student says that I am going to do research whatever I want. I am going to do research whatever I want. Who says this? When he is in graduation. Now, when he clears his graduation and enters into the doctoral program and becomes PhD scholar, now the same idea converts into, now what he says is, I am going to research whatever my supervisor wants. I am going to research whatever my supervisor wants. Then PhD enroll हो जाती है, PhD award हो जाती है. अब वो असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर बन जाता है. अब जब असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर बन जाता है तो फिर ये स्टेटमेंट बदल जाता है. अब वो क्या कहता है? आई एम गोइंग टू रिसर्च वॉट एवर माई प्रमोशन कमेटी वॉन्ट. वॉट एवर माई प्रमोशन कमेटी वॉन्ट. अब वो असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर से उसका प्रमोशन हो जाता है और वो प्रोफेसर बन जाता है. जब प्रोफेसर बन जाता है तो फिर ये स्टेटमेंट बदल जाता है. अब वो क्या कहता है? आई एम गोइंग टू रिसर्च वॉट एवर माई फंड ग्रांट्स कमेटी वॉन्ट. और फिर वो उसको ग्रांट भी मिल जाती है, वो प्रोजेक्ट भी पूरा कर लेता है, रिसर्च भी पूरा कर लेता है. अब वो रिटायर हो जाता है और जीवन की साइकिल पूरा करके आखिरी में जब उसकी मृत्यु होती है तो तब फिर वो स्टेटमेंट बदल जाता है. जब उसकी मृत्यु होती है तो फिर उसका स्टेटमेंट वो कहता है आई एम गोइंग टू रिसर्च वॉट एवर डॉट 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 RIP, रिसर्च इन पीस. रिसर्च इन पीस ये एक वेस्टर्न चुटकुला है जो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में सुना है. क्यों ये चुटकुला है? क्योंकि what I personally feel as a supervisor, when I am supervising my scholars, मैं कभी भी अपने स्कॉलर को टॉपिक और प्रॉब्लम तो बताता नहीं. आप अपना प्रॉब्लम लेके जाइए. यू गो विद योर प्रॉब्लम. RIP. प्रिंकेश जी लिख रहे हैं RIP. सो आप अपना, when you will be identifying your problem, you will be in a better position to relate with that problem. You will be in a better position to articulate that problem because you have conceived, you understand the context, you understand the entire nitty-gritty to in what circumstances, in what perspective you have conceived this problem. एक चुटकुला और सुना देता हूं मैं आज आपको. रिसर्च के बारे में चुटकुला कहा जाता है कि जो रिसर्च की प्रॉब्लम होती है ना, वो सिर्फ दो लोग समझते हैं. रिसर्च की प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ दो लोग समझते हैं. आधा सुपरवाइजर, आधा खुदा और एक स्कॉलर. ये दो लोग हैं जो इस प्रॉब्लम को समझते हैं. आधा वो सुपरवाइजर समझता है जिसके अंडर में वो स्कॉलर है, आधा वो स्कॉलर समझता है, और एक जो है वो, सॉरी, आधा खुदा समझता है, आधा स्कॉलर सुपरवाइजर, एक वो स्कॉलर समझता है. कहने का मतलब ये है, when you will be identifying your problem, you will be in a better position to articulate, to reflect, to discuss, to debate, to defend. When you are receiving a problem from anyone, then you will be not in that comfortable position. And that is why identification of a problem is very, very, very important so far as your researches are concerned. Now, again, I'm telling you few of my very favorite references, which I give often at many platforms. So I am from education department, and I personally like this post-positivistic paradigm of researches. So what I have studied one some works. For example, there is a work by Adler and Adler, backboards and blackboards. So when I was reading that work, I understood how to look at this problem, how to look at the data, how to interview, how to observe, how to write the data, how to analyze the data, how to create theme, how to create code. Then I read another work done by Barry Thorne, Gender Play. Then another work I read by D. Ferguson, Bad Boys, Public Schools in the Making of Black Masculinity. Then I read a work by S. Bicklin, School, Work and Gender. Then Casala, then Meenakshi Thapan, then many works I have read. So when I read those works, then I understood how to look at the problem, how to write that problem, how to infer objectives from those problems, how to write research questions, how to set a context for data collection, how to go to the field, how to interview the respondent, how to conduct a focused group discussion, how to observe the data, how to infer the meaning from the data, how to infer body language, etc etc. Then all the data, how to record data even, कि आप मुझे जब पहली बार मैं गया रिसर्च करने तो जो मेरे प्रोफेसर ने कहा कि जब कॉपी लेके जाना उस पर डेटा लिखना तो साइड में मार्जिन छोड़ देना, चारों तरफ मार्जिन छोड़ देना, क्योंकि क्वालिटेटिव वर्क में आपको कोडिंग और थीम्स और तमाम तरह की चीजें नोट्स बनाने होंगे. So how to report, how to collect the data, how to put the data in the paper, then how to analyze, how to create code, then how to report, how to analyze and how to report. So my dear scholars, my dear friends, identification of a research problem is a very important issue, because this is the first thing which will make एक कहावत है ना, अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, well begun is half done. Well begun is half done. अगर आपने अच्छी शुरुआत की तो आपका आधा काम हो गया. So if you have identified the problem by yourself, a good problem, researchable problem, then you will be in a better position to conceptualize, to concretize all these nitty-gritty related with your problem. So identification of a problem is a very, very important issue. I would be suggesting you to read good books, to read journals, to avail the facility provided by what do you mean by saying problem in the context of research? Problem is research problem, research title, what issue you are going to work. So try to interact with the facilities which you are having in your university, and you are lucky enough that with the advancement of technology you are in a better, much better position, because when I recall my days, I used to visit from this university to that university, that university to that university, वहाँ की libraries को जाना और उनके काम को देखना, journals को, बहुत limited facilities थी, क्योंकि इतना facility online available नहीं था. But अभी if you look at the facilities, you are in a much better position. और जब ये facility मिलती है तो challenge भी बढ़ते हैं. Challenge क्या है कि अब आप, जैसे हमने कॉपी और पेस्ट कर लिया था ना, वैसे आप कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं कर सकते. प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर आपको जीने नहीं देगा. So you need to be original, because we need to make our place in global researches. This is now demographic dividend. We all know demographic dividend. Future is in your hand. The standard, the status of India as a in research is in your hand. So try to be original, try to read the previous work, journals, articles, newspaper, magazines, reflective discourses, and come up with a good work. Read that. Rest you can read that Professor C.N.R. Rao lectures. Thank you so much, Professor Sujata Srivastava Madam, Professor Ashutosh Biswal Sahab, for giving me this opportunity, at however virtually, but I am